Hey, good morning, everybody. Welcome to Saturday Morning Cartoon. We are experiencing, of course, an echo as I had once before, and I'm not sure. Why are you pointing?
We're just playing.
Okay. So anyway, so I am not sure why this is occurring, but of course, again, I hope it doesn't aggravate you guys too much because I'm not sure what to do, and I am trying everything imaginable. Testing 1, 2, 3. Yep, still hear me. That sucks. Okay. Uh, hey, you're gonna have to deal with my echo, and hopefully Jerome and Rose will speak more than I will, even though it's my show today. Good morning to everyone. This is Saturday Morning Cartoons, and what we do each and every week, every Saturday, is we talk about your past. We talk about animated shows that you grew up with, things that you remember, things you ran downstairs with cereal in your hand, you laid on your stomach, and you talk about this show. Before we normally get into our show, we talk a little bit of morning garbage, basically how our crew's been doing over the past week, what's been going on. Of course, Jerome's been missing, and he's been missing for a reason, so I'll let him start. Jerome, what's going on with you?
Hey, we finally got down here to Georgia. We took about 2.5 weeks vacation to go visit some of the sites on the East Coast. Gwen had a great time. We're getting ready for school here, and we're currently unloading all of our furniture and stuff. I don't recommend it during 90-degree heat. Not a smart move. So for those of you that are on my Facebook page, you saw the travel log as we went along.
Very cool.
Yeah.
Cool beans. I am dumbfounded by this echo. So as you guys chat along here, I'm actually doing some troubleshooting as usual. Those of you guys that are familiar with this show know that this doesn't occur, but if you're still familiar with this show, you know that if we don't have one technical difficulty during any of our shows, it's bad luck. Okay, so we're having technical difficulties.
Mike says I echo too.
I don't
Testing 1, 2, 3. Nope, still there. It's amazing.
I don't know, Mike. I don't know what's going on.
Yeah, and I'm almost betting it is the platform again because the last time we had this problem, it was during this show. Mm-hmm. But during my Strange New World show Sunday at 4 p.m., no problem whatsoever. So I'm not sure, but we're being screwed. Somehow. Rose, what's going on with you, dear?
Nothing much. There's nothing new with me, really. I'm going to go see the 35th anniversary of Heathers on the big screen tomorrow.
Ooh.
So.
Wait a minute. 35th anniversary of Heathers? Is that
Winona Ryder, Christian Slater film?
Oh, great film.
Shannon Doherty, yeah.
I don't know if I went to see that movie, but it sounds awfully familiar. I could have been caught in the cinema watching that, but I don't recall it much.
I did not get to see it on the big screen, so this will be my first time.
It's a seriously black comedy. It's great.
Yeah, that's what I hear. I think I may have seen it. I don't know why I would go see something like that, but it just sounds familiar. All right, guys.
A horrible remake.
A horrible remake.
Oh yeah.
All right, guys. We're going to slip into this real quick, so bear with me. Alrighty, so this is what I'm trying to do is trying to get this thing tuned up a little better, but the echo is not helping. This is Cartoons in the News. I do this segment, and what I do, I relate things that have happened recently in the news, or even in the past. I don't even think about something that's current, but way back. But guess what just happened this week? It was Bugs Bunny's birthday. Did you guys know that? It was Bugs Bunny's birthday. Jerome, Rose, did you know it was Bugs Bunny's birthday?
I did not.
I saw it. I saw it on social media.
All right, so happy 83rd birthday to Bugs Bunny. Okay, 83 years old. The world's favorite robot. I was about to say the world's most famous robot. Rabbit was born July 27th, just a couple days ago, and he debuted in a movie called Wild Hair, which was directed by Tex Avery. So we were going to go ahead and wish. Did I get a clip of that? I think I did. Sorry, guys, I'm discombobulated here. Well, anyway, happy birthday, Bugs Bunny. But guess what's even more important to that? What was more important than that was this.
I have sent for you, Dodgers, because we are facing a crisis. The world supply of Alludium Fosdex, the shaving cream atom, is alarmingly low. Now, we have reason to believe that the only remaining source is on Planet X, somewhere in this area.
And you want me to find Planet X? Is that it?
Can you do it, Dodgers?
Oh, indubitably, sir. Because there's no one knows his way around outer space like Dodgers in the 24th and a half century.
And on that note, Duck Dodgers were 70 years old this week, okay? Do you know that this cartoon was rated the 4th greatest cartoon of all time? It is a staple at DragonCon, a convention that's held in Atlanta every year. In breaks between the judging ceremonies of the costume contest, they play this video to the entire audience, and you hear the entire audience, thousands of people screaming Duck Dodgers, well-known wording, Duck Dodgers in 24. It is mind-shattering when you hear an entire audience. They know when to come in and to say this. When this cartoon was released, it received the admiration of many notable science fiction directors, including Steven Spielberg and George Lucas. When Star Wars Episode 4 New Hope in 1977 was re-released in theaters, the cartoon was run preceding the feature at Lucas's request. Believe it or not, this cartoon takes place in the same century as Star Trek: The Next Generation. I wonder if they kind of crossed paths. If they did, I'm sure the crew ducked. Sorry about that. I had to throw that. All right, so that's our segment of cartoons in the news. Get off me now and get back to the rest of our crew here.
Can I make 2 comments about what you said?
Go ahead.
Duck Dodgers was rated number 100 by Starlog as the most influential science fiction stuff of all time. Went back when they did that. And happy to Bugs, 83 years and only 1 gray hair.
Oh,
he
man.
got you, Mark.
I was doing good. I thought I was doing good with the duck, but you got me on that one, Jerome. That's pretty good.
Thank you.
All right, this is a special show today, and as you guys know, I was on vacation for 5 days in the beautiful Bahamas. A lot of people do not know that there are about, a couple hundred islands in the Bahamas, but more people are concerned or have visited Nassau than any other part of the Bahamas. I was in the Abaco Islands. Abaco Islands, believe it or not, was slammed pretty big in 2019 with Hurricane Dorian, and it almost devastated the island. There are some parts of the Bahamas that are uninhabited. There are a lot of islands there. But there are also parts of the Bahamas that people like you and I don't see. Okay, we don't know about. And I tell you why. The average rental for a house on the island that I stayed on goes for $20,000 a week. Okay, so the reason why I was walking around amongst these people was not because I had $20,000 a week to spend on the place where I stayed. No, I just happened to make really, really good friends with clients who claim, hey, thank you, Mark, great job, we love you, you're handsome, tall, black, and beautiful. Why don't you stay at my house? So that's what they did. They loaned me their house. And here I am on an island where there really aren't any vehicles other than work vehicles because there's so many multi-million-dollar houses going up. A freaking lot of them. that they just that's the only time you see the workers being shipped in. Otherwise, you get around on golf carts. If you visited my Facebook page, you would have seen all the pictures of my stay, but it was fabulous. So speaking with the people in the Bahamas, I just always have work on my brain, always have this show on my brain, and I thought I'd ask a few people if they would give me a list as to what they were watching. Yeah, we know that, Mike. Thank you. If they would give us a list of what they were watching when they were growing up in terms of cartoons. And surprisingly so, seeing that at the time that I think the Bahamas was still British owned back during then. In fact, I was on the entire island driving on the left, and I think I did incredibly well until I started seeing head-on traffic, and I realized I ought to get over. It's amazing what these folks have grown up with. So we're going to start off with a very, very familiar list of cartoons that we have shown on this show before, but in reverence and honor of the island of the Bahamas, I thought it's only important to show what they were seeing as well as we were seeing back then. So this first clip you guys are very familiar with, so I'll go ahead and play the clip. And it's funny, I can't remember if we've shown this clip before, not this clip, but focused on this cartoon before. I think we have. I could be wrong. But nonetheless, watch this. You got about 2.5 minutes to watch this. So this is one of the cartoons, ladies and gentlemen, that the folks on the islands, Abacos Islands, or in the Bahamas in general, were watching probably at the same time we were. By the way, their network was called ZNS. I have no idea what that stands for. But ZNS, and this is what they saw, cartoon number 1.
Our world is in peril. Gaia, the spirit of the earth, can no longer stand the terrible destruction plaguing our planet. She sends 5 magic rings to 5 special young people. One from Africa with the power of earth. From North America, Wheeler with the power of fire. From the Soviet Union, Minka with the power of wind. From Asia, Yi with the power of water. And from South America, Mati with the power of heart. When the 5 powers combine, they summon Earth's greatest champion, Captain Planet. The power is yours!
All right, so Captain Planet and Planeteers is an American animated environmentalist superhero television. Oh, I was about to say, is my echo gone?
No.
Okay, damn it. Okay, superhero television series. The New Adventures of Captain Planet was produced by Hanna-Barbera Cartoons and broadcast from September 11th, 1993 to May 11th, 1996. The series was rerun in later years on Cartoon Network and Boomerang. The program is a form of educational and oh my God, I can't say all these words I have written down here. And it's known for having a number of famous actors providing voices for the villains. What do you guys know about Captain Planet? I'll start with you, Russ.
I used to watch it in the mornings. I wasn't really a super big fan of it, but it was entertaining, and they were trying to do something different, to educate. So.
Okay. What am I hearing in the background?
I don't know what that is.
Okay, it's coming out of your own, so I muted him. All right. So did you remember Captain Planet?
Yeah. Oh yeah, it was on. I believe it was on TBS.
Okay, and we know our favorite Star Trek hero was on Captain Planet. Who was the narrator's voice that you heard when this first came on?
I don't know. Was it Michael Dorn?
Oh, no, but it's interesting. You're on the right show, but I'll go ahead and go to Jerome. Jerome, I had to mute you because of whatever that.
Yeah, no, I understand. I would.
Right. What do you know about Captain Planet?
By your powers combined, yeah. I watched it every so often, not that often. I did. To me, it felt real corny. It was super preachy. There's a lot I could say that I shouldn't say on this show, having to deal with politics and stuff, and I won't get into that. But I remember it like everyone else did. I know there were lots of jokes at the time.
Okay, and the narrator's voice was who?
LeVar.
That's right, LeVar Burton, Geordie LaForge, Miss Rose.
Yep, I messed up.
kind of helped them go into Reading Rainbow, I guess, after that too.
I don't know, when did Reading Rainbow?
I think Reading Rainbow might have been first.
Yeah, I thought it was too.
That's good question. I mean, good answer if that's true. Yes, that's Captain Planet. So yes, the people in the Bahamas were watching Captain Planet, which actually makes a lot of sense. I mean, it's a beautiful island. It has so much ecology there that should be maintained and saved and actually respected. It's only normal, I think, for the folks of the Bahamas, the wonderful people out there, man. Those are the nicest people I think I have ever met, guys. If we could transport the people of the Bahamas onto the United States of America, man, you talk about Canadians. You think Canadians are nice? My God, Bahamians will wave at you for no reason whatsoever. Okay? I mean, do you get that in the States?
No.
The answer is yes, but you don't get it as everyday, normal, common sense stuff. You know, you think if somebody's waving at you, they want something, so, but over in the Bahamas, it's like, every time I'm driving around on the golf cart, somebody's waving their hand back at me, whether it's people walking along the street or the tourists with, I mean, come on, man. I was probably, other than Bahamians, I honestly think I was probably the only Black American on that island. Okay, so most of the people were coming in from North Carolina, South Carolina, the whole 9 yards. So I'm really interested. This next cartoon I'm going to show you guys, we're very, very familiar with. Okay, we showed it, like I said, we're paying homage to the people of the Bahamas. And I think you'll know what this is. But I found a clip that we've never played of this before. So I'm going to go ahead and show you this clip because it's very interesting. It's very exciting. I'm not going to play it all because it's longer than the time that we allow. So check this out.
Traveling alone. Give me my spinach, I'll show you. Well, blow me down.
All right, and as we know, that was Popeye. We've shown him a lot of times here on this show, and I'm sure we're going to show him a lot more. But let me tell you a little bit about Popeye here. Popeye the Sailor Man first appeared on January 17th, 1929. Jerome, were you born in 1929?
No, I don't even think I was a gleam in me daddy's eye.
All right, he was, of course, shown in King Features comic strip. The script was in his 10th year when Popeye made his debut. In his debut storyline, and this is very interesting, so listen to this. This Popeye's superhumanly proportioned strength and endurance stem from the luck he acquired by rubbing the feathers of the head of Bernice, a whiffle hen, thus enabling him to survive 15 gunshot wounds. By the end of 1929, man, that was a pretty freaking violent era, 15 gunshots. Okay, by the end of 1929, however, Popeye's strength had become a regularized fixture of his character with spinach coming up in 1932. So I never knew that rubbing the head of a hen would make you super powered. I didn't know that was even a part of Popeye's strength at that point. But I hadn't been reading, of course, the comic strips that early back in the year. Rose, what is it that did you find that surprising that Popeye got his strength from a hen?
Yeah, I never knew that. I always thought it was spinach.
Yeah, I like Mike's comment. And notice that in any Popeye cartoon, that I think that if you were hit once by Popeye, you'd be dead, because some of the punches that this dude threw, luckily there's cartoon violence and then real life violence, and we try to teach our kids that, look, don't drop an anvil on anybody's head. Don't drop a piano out of a window on anybody, because they will die. Only in the cartoons will they survive.
Yeah, you won't get a butcher shop if you punch a bull.
And recognize. Go ahead, Joe.
As a child, I was stupid, and I tried the piano and the anvil thing. And you know why I didn't do it? Mark, do you know why I wasn't able to do it?
Why were you unable to do it, Jerome?
Because those things weigh 1,000,000 pounds. They were heavy. For a kid that age, you can't do it. So because it's so heavy.
Yeah, and when the parent-teacher conference came in and kind of put a lot of labels on Saturday morning cartoons, I guess, and this was basically I think probably the 60s and 70s, yet we were looking at cartoons, Tom and Jerry at the movies and things of that nature. You cut Jerry's tail off. Wait a minute, which one's Jerry? Jerry's the mouse, right?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay,
Tom as in Tomcat.
Yeah, you cut Tom's tail off, and the next thing you see him have it taped on, and the next, movie is all fine or whatever. That stuff doesn't happen in real life. That stuff kind of hurts. What are you saying, Jennifer, my dear? How are you? You didn't have an anvil? Or no, I did not.
Yeah, see, that's why you couldn't do it. You didn't have an anvil or a piano in your house.
That's true. That's probably a good point. I did not like that. For an anvil and piano, you needed Acme. Yeah.
Oh, okay. There we go.
All right, here's the next one here. We've shown this one before. And the next clip I'm going to show you guys is Garfield and Friends. Okay, and this, like I said, we're honoring the island of the Bahamas and what the people on the island of the Bahamas. This is some. I did get a list from someone with a lot more than what I'm showing. I'm really happy that people actually watch Powerpuff Girls. I don't know why I didn't add that into this list. I love Powerpuff Girls. But I'm going to tell you, our last cartoon, I would do anything, okay, for the inhabitants of the Bahamas, mainly for this last cartoon that they watch and that they love. All right, Garfield and Friends aired on CBS as part of the Saturday morning children's lineup from September 17th, 1988 to December 10th, 1994. And it's based on a comic strip Garfield by Jim Davis. Each episode of Garfield and Friends typically consists of 2 segments adapted from Garfield and 1 adapted from U.S. Acres. Do you guys remember the comic strip U.S. Acres?
Yes.
Yeah, I do too. Okay, so that was also created by Davis, and that was in 1986. So let's take a look at Garfield and his friends.
Odie's playing in front of the recliner. Watch this. I hate to brag, but it took a brilliant mind to figure that gag out.
Garfield, come and get it. Take your time. It's peanut butter and fish head stew with pickles on the side and optional chocolate sauce.
Thank goodness. I thought for a minute there it might be food. Not now. Odie, no, not now. I warned you.
I've had enough of this. You're going to stay outside while I cook.
Good. I hate being around acts of cruelty. Okay, John. I'll give you one more chance to apologize. I don't have to put up with this. There are plenty of people who would love to have a cat, especially one as adorable as me. The trick to this is adopting the patented cute kitty look. Pretty disgusting, I know, but it works. Don't you people know adorable when you see it?
All right, so the people in the Bahamas watch Garfield and his friends. What can you tell me about Garfield, Jerome? What do you remember? Well, I'm going to try an audio scenario here.
I remember the show when it first started, that it was a big deal, that it was Carlton the doorman from Mary Tyler Moore. Rhoda, yeah, did the voice. And I also remember lots of little books with different strips in it, and that's about as much as I remember, other than he hates Mondays and loves lasagna. Nope, microphones.
Yeah, I was a big fan of the comic strip.
Yeah.
I used to have a poster in my room that had his water dish, and there was a shark swimming in it, and he said, "I don't need this," and that's just like basically the story of my life. So
Nermal, the world's cutest kitten. I remember. What was it? They had a lot of those suction cup Garfields on windows and cars.
Oh yeah, they did. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
I had an Odie. I had a stuffed Odie when I was growing up, and I had a stuffed Garfield.
Yeah, I remember the stuffed animals.
We can't. You're muted, Mark.
No, I think we turned off one of the microphones to get rid of the echo.
Let's try this.
No.
Damn wrong. Anyway, so I was guilty. I had one of those suction cups. Windshield.
Really? I didn't think you liked cats at all, Mark.
I kind of, I profess that I hate cats. I'm gonna tell you that. I just hate the sneaky ones. You could be rubbing their belly, swipe. That ain't right. Like, come on. But I had a dozen or so. Oh my God.
Yeah. They were hugely popular in the 80s.
And Joe was a huge Garfield fan, right?
They were like, bestsellers.
Wow, that's really weird. All right, so Garfield and his friends. All right, so that's one of the things. I have no idea how to fix this audio. My apologies, guys, but we're just going to have to deal with it. Okay, so this next character we're bringing up, we're very familiar with as well. We've had him on this show. I think we didn't do a whole show on him. What is Jennifer saying here? She said, she said sasshole. Okay.
Yeah, I know.
Got a cat named Ravioli. Now, that's a good reason to cook a cat, just for the name. I love ravioli, so that's perfect. All right,
Jennifer, I just heard that. I just saw that term yesterday, and that's the second time I've heard it used.
Sasshole?
Yeah.
Really? I've never heard of it.
Somebody had a bumper sticker yesterday that says, "My kids are sassholes."
Oh.
That way you can say.
And I'm like, I've never heard that term before, so that must be fairly new.
Well, that way they don't have to say a-hole and all the other stuff.
Yeah, well, I'm just saying, I feel like maybe I've slipped into another timeline because that's the second time in a day that I've heard that term, and I never heard it before.
Hey, is the little kitten here, the little cat I see, is that the cat that you guys are talking about, Normal?
Yes.
And who's the cat on the left? I'm assuming that's female.
That's his girlfriend. Or wannabe girlfriend or something like that.
Yeah, Garfield has a girlfriend. Okay, pretty interesting. I use it a lot. She uses it a lot. If I weren't for Garfield, I wouldn't have discovered the best comic strip of all. Oh, yes. I'm a huge Calvin and Hobbes fan.
Same.
Snow Goons rule.
All right, so this next thing we're going to bring up here, I'll go ahead and show the clip first, and then we'll talk about it on the backside. Coming from the islands of the Bahamas, one of the cartoons that they're very familiar with. They watched a lot of. I'm gonna have to play this from my computer. Check this out. All right, and that was Inspector Gadget there. Hey, Mike, get off of my microphone. We already explained that, dude. Thank you. All right, so Joe, go Gadget, go. Let me actually tell you guys a little bit about this. The franchise follows the adventures of a powerful but dim-witted cyborg police inspector named Gadget as he investigates the criminal scheme of Dr. Cloth and his organization MAD, and fruitlessly attempts to stop him. However, neither side is aware that it is Gadget's niece, Penny, who actually rocks my brain, okay, and her dog Blaine. That's what I did there. Who are truly responsible for thwarting MAD. All right, so tell me a little bit about Inspector Gadget, Rose. I know we discussed this on the show before, but we'll probably continue to talk about Gadget as long as this Saturday morning cartoon is around. Go ahead, girl.
All right, Inspector Gadget was huge when I was growing up. It was a show that we discussed on the playground. Everybody, loved to make up their own stories about it. It was just a lot of fun, and at the same time, around that time, they were showing in syndication Get Smart. So, the kids knew, that Don Adams did both parts, and they thought that was pretty awesome.
Pretty awesome. How about you, Jerome?
Gadget was always fun to watch. It's the same episode all the time. He's always screwing up. Penny saves the day. Claw is, basically Claw is Blofeld from Bond.
Right.
And a lot of cliches, but it's still a beloved show. I know they made 2 live action films.
Yes.
And I don't know if they rebooted the cartoon.
I actually enjoy. I think I only saw one of the live action films.
Right.
And I really enjoyed it because it was perfect casting, in my opinion, with Matthew Broderick, who was Inspector Gadget. It was pretty good. But in terms of the animated Inspector Gadget, they had perfect casting in the voice.
Oh yeah, Don Adams couldn't be beat.
Yeah. I mean, agent to agent. I mean, it's perfect for someone. You have him as the voice actor, and he actually played a character who used a lot of the gadgets.
Well, I think that was also the appeal the adults got to it because they knew Don Adams from Get Smart.
Yes. I think you're absolutely right. It was a surprising success, in my opinion. This show called Inspector Gadget. So I was pretty much impressed with it all around. Let's do something here. All right, so we're halfway there. Now, it's interesting, this next clip that I'm going to show you guys, it's pretty much universal because it was a movie first, and we didn't know that they could make an animated cartoon out of this movie. What they did, they used an item in the movie and attached it to an animal and called it basically this. Let me see if I got it queued up. I don't think I did. My bad on that. Let's play this off the laptop. Check this out. All right, I'm gonna let it play, and there's a couple of comments I wanted to comment on while this played through. I also should have read this before I played it, and it's a synopsis on this episode. And basically, in this episode, which happened in medieval England, tax collectors try to forcibly gather as much money from poor people as possible. Unfortunately for our big-nosed friend, the little man, he didn't have any money with him, so he got arrested. Kind-hearted Pink Panther sees the little man being arrested and tries to rescue him. Jennifer makes a good point about the Pink Panther, is that the best thing about it was there was basically no dialogue. You would hear little quirks, little beats, little whatever, but typically throughout the entire show, it was just basically music and sound effects. Do you guys remember the time that Pink Panther actually spoke?
No.
Yeah, he let me go to, I'm sorry, Rose, do you remember the time the Pink Panther actually spoke? As I'm trying to do 100 things at one time here.
Wasn't it in a movie or something?
I don't know if it was in a movie. I think it was actually an episode. It kind of broke the fourth wall, because that's basically what happened with Pink Panther when he was trying to speak. He broke the fourth wall, just like Wile E. Coyote broke the fourth wall, if you remember that.
Mm-hmm.
And I think he sounded like David Niven. Which is perfect, right? I think he sounded like David Niven, if I remember correctly. So that was fantastic. So that was yet another cartoon that the Bahamians watched that we knew about here, and it was just slapstick humor. Was basically all of Pink Panther cartoons. It was slapstick humor,
and you didn't have to worry about language barrier.
Yeah, that's true. No language barrier. Those are the best cartoons, the ones like this. All right. We're going way back, and I'm really happy because a lot of these cartoons I've shown you guys, I think we were around 70s and 80s so far when we were showing them. We're finally realizing that the Bahamians remember shows from the 60s. And this was one of my favorite shows. But let me tell you this. Without saying the title, I'm going to run through my synopsis here. This was an animated sitcom produced by Hanna-Barbera Productions, and originally broadcast in prime time on the ABC network. It aired in a weekly evening time slot from September 1961 to April 1962 for a single season of 30 episodes. The show was a ratings failure in prime time, but became successful upon its time on Saturday morning television. The show also became very popular in Latin American countries, especially Mexico, and the United Kingdom. Now, before going on to the next paragraph in this, which actually gives you the name. Oh, very good. People are trying to guess already. No, it is not, but it is one of the first primetime television shows. The first one was actually the Flintstones. The Flintstones did not start on Saturday morning cartoons. It started at night. It started in the evening.
It better not be Johnny Quest.
It's Johnny Quest.
Yeah.
Oh my God! You guys are absolutely horrible.
Top Cat, the most effectual Top Cat, whose intellectual close friends get to call him TC, providing it with dignity. Top Cat, the indisputable leader of the gang. He's the boss, he's a bit, he's a championship, he's the most tip-top Top Cat. Yes, he's the chief, he's the king, but above everything, he's the most tip-top Top Cat. Top Cat! Top Cat, the most effectual Top Cat.
I actually meant to stop.
No idea.
Wait a minute, where's Jerome go? Oh, there he is.
Well, I was going to say, what'd I do now?
No,
I was just grooving into the song, man.
That's my bad. So Rose, you thought it was seriously Johnny Quest? So
Yeah. I did
Wow.
not know Top Cat aired at night. I never knew.
Did you watch Top Cat? Did you know of this show?
I know it, but I didn't know it was aired at nighttime.
Yeah, it was aired at night. Top Cat was created as a parody of the Phil Silvers show, with Arnold Stang imitating Sergeant Bilko's voice for this character. Hanna-Barbera sold the cartoon to ABC based on a drawing of the main character. This was only the second cartoon series to premiere on primetime television networks in the United States. The title character, Top Cat, TC for short, they called him, is the leader of a gang of Manhattan alley cats. And I should be showing you guys if I was smart enough to do this. Which one are we here? We did Panther already, so there we go.
There we go.
All right. Anyway, the leader of a gang of Manhattan alley cats living in Hoagie's Alley. Okay, the characters are Fancy, Spook, Benny the Ball, Brain, and Shoo Shoo. Okay, Top Cat and his gang were inspired by the East Side Kids, roguish street smart characters from a series of 1940s B movies. I watched the East Side Kids every Sunday. Okay, when it came on. Actually, I think it came on Saturdays. I think Blondie came on Sunday.
Wasn't this also like the Bowery Boys or something like that too?
Yes, that's the East Side Kid was the Bowery Boys. Exactly.
Okay.
Exactly. And there were some great live action shows that came on Saturday afternoon. Very wholesome, very cool, very great. It was awesome. So yes. So that was Top Cat. So yes, the Bahamians watch Top Cat, ladies and gentlemen, believe it or not. Go ahead, Jerome. I see you. Go ahead.
I was just wondering. I'm looking at that, that gang of Top Cats gang there, and immediately my immediate thought was the Cosby Kids also.
That's true.
I'm looking at that, and I'm almost seeing the Cosby Kids, even down to how they're dressed. Some of them.
Yeah. That's crazy. That's crazy how I like it how they mixed human characters with animals in these shows. So that's Top Cat. So I don't know who in our chat room actually got that. Jennifer liked the fact that it was Top Cat. Mike knew that it was Arnold Stang, who was the voice of Top Cat impersonating Phil Silvers. So that's pretty good.
I love that show.
I did too. I did. Top Cat was one of my favorites. The next one, was this one of my favorites? Should I read this first? Let me. Okay. What are some Saturday morning cartoons that you guys weren't too crazy about? I can't put it in a different category than what I'm trying to say, so I think I'm stuck with just saying that.
Are you talking? Is this about the Smurfs?
I was gonna say, if you say the Smurfs,
say that again, Rose. Somebody's listening right now who knows that I want to strangle Jennifer, and I had to explain to her, why do you dislike this woman? And what did you just say, Rose?
Smurfs.
Right. Thank you.
I
Jennifer,
like
you know I love you, sweetheart, but if you ever bring up the Smurfs to me again, I'm knocking off your husband. Okay? I want you to suffer. This is not as bad as the Smurfs. And the other one was Snorks, I think we were talking about.
Yeah,
right?
Snorkels, yeah.
Yeah, and quality television, right, folks?
Hey, listen,
Okay.
you're fortunate, Mark, that you did not have to wake up to the Guppies.
Oh, yeah.
I think I remember that.
No, you
Hold
couldn't
on.
have, because it's a recent one, and basically parents who had to watch it because kids had to.
Guppies?
Yeah, I'll show you a
remember
link
that.
later.
Okay, look. Jennifer says Smurf. I guess I got to knock off her husband. So she apologizes right there. Okay. And here's her husband chiming in. There are worse shows than Smurf. Guppies, I guess, as we were saying. But we're going to talk about this show in the backside. So take a look at this.
When your room looks kind of weird and you wish that you weren't there.
Just close your eyes and make believe, and you can be anywhere.
I like adventure.
I like romance.
I love great jokes. I'm a mobile.
I've got my computer.
I can do that.
I'll play the piano.
And I've got blue hair. We are even
everything all right in here?
Yes, Nanny.
Comment?
You know, I was never a fan of this show, but I love the Muppets, but I was not a fan of the show.
Yeah.
I think kind of the best thing about this eliminated a little bit of my reverb here. Muppet Babies. So I'm a Muppets fan, the Muppet Show at least. Let me read a little bit about here. Jim Henson's Muppet Babies, commonly known by the shortened title Muppet Babies, is an American animated television series. Of course, it was produced by Marvel Productions and Henson Associates. The show portrays toddler versions of the Muppets living together in a nursery under the care of a woman known as Nanny, involving the concepts of the power of imagination and creative problem solving. The show's main target group is for children ages 2 to 5. So maybe there's a reason why we didn't like this show. Okay. I think we were too mature for this show, right? The idea of presenting the Muppets as children appeared in a dream sequence in the Muppets Take Manhattan movie in 1984, released 2 months before Muppet Babies debuted. Duh. I mean, somebody thought that out pretty quick, right? The idea was a success, and it transformed into a spinoff, which means the idea from Muppets Take Manhattan, thus the Muppet Babies. Any quality comments? Let's see what we got from the chat room here. Mike, you have been saved.
Mike never watched it? I thought he watched everything.
I thought he did too. Of course, Joe goes, the Muppet Babies is a classic, sir. Yeah. Okay. All right, Joe. You're still alive, I see. Okay. All right, so he's going here. He's chastising now. Dude, that cartoon promoted imagination better than any cartoon. They crossed over with all sorts of great pop culture content, Star Wars, Indiana Jones. That is true.
That is true.
That's true.
Yeah.
It almost looks like it inspired Rugrats.
Well, thank God you didn't say the Garbage Pail Kid.
No. The less said about that show, the better.
Yeah, because I kind of remember Garbage Pail Kids as well. But, I mean, look at these beautiful baby faces. Nah.
Hey, Kermit's missing.
Which one's Crummy?
Kermit.
Oh, Kermit. Oh.
You go back to that picture. You go back to that last picture, and you'll notice Kermit's not in that picture.
Yeah,
they're probably staring at him.
That's true. He's probably staring at him. Right. You know,
what is he doing?
This piggy pushed him out of the picture. You know.
There you go.
But other than that, I like the Swedish chef there, and what was his partner's name?
That's not Swedish Chef. That's Bunsen Honey.
Oh, you're
Bunsen,
right.
Bunsen Honeydew and Beaker.
Yeah.
Right. You're right. My bad.
From Muppet Labs.
Yeah, Bunsen Honeydew. Cheryl says, I love the Muppets. It only takes so much of the Muppet. And that's probably the problem with me.
I agree, Cheryl.
Yeah.
I can
Small
only
doses. Small doses.
Yeah, I can only take but so much. All right. Going on to our next one, I was told to change this clip, and I couldn't find a clip, so we're stuck with it. Sorry about that. There are Bahamians that are actually watching the show today, this morning, folks, by the way. So, I like I said, I couldn't change this clip. I'm not going to play all of it because it's too long. But speaking of irritation, seriously, oh, wait a minute. What are you laughing at here? Man, I feel like I guess. I don't know.
They grated on my nerves. I'm sorry.
Yeah, same here.
I think even the voice. They already had a weird voice when they were adults, but to take it down take it up a few
Yeah.
little pitches,
You know-
and then make a cartoon out of it. Yep. Go ahead. Dan.
I think when you watch the Muppet Show like we all did back in the 70s and the early 80s, and then they bring the Muppet Babies, it felt like a step backwards. But I bet you if you grew up with the Muppet Babies and then watched the Muppet shows, it would have been fine.
Well,
You know
yeah,
what I'm saying?
it's sort of like the Star Wars syndrome with the Phantom Menace and all. The kids that grew up with that look at the other ones and are like, eh. But they love the Phantom Menace series, you know?
Yeah. Exactly.
Yeah.
It's what you know.
All right, Joe, we're leaving this one with you, Joe. You go ahead and show this off as much as you want, buddy boy. Okay, we'll respect you for this one. Okay, but the Bahamians, I'm making them sound like aliens, aren't I? The Bahamians, they love obviously the Muppet Show or Muppet Babies. We're not sure why. If you think the Muppet Babies aggregate, what do you say? I grew up the original of both. Well, yeah, we all do. We're in the same age, I think. But if you think the Muppet Babies aggravated the hell out of you, I'm not even going to give an intro for this one. You just want to just put your fingers in your ears, okay?
Brittany? Alvin! What are you doing here? We're on our way to Istanbul. What are you doing here? We're on our way to Cairo. Have you guys had any, trouble along the way? Well, there was this guy. We've had nothing but smooth sailing. And you? Well, actually, I get the feeling it's been a piece of cake. The only problem we have is crowd control. We're the hottest act in rock and roll. But you don't have that problem, do you? No. Sure we do. No, you don't. All right, Mr. Popularity. How much you wanna bet we can out-rock and roll you? We've got to keep these two apart. Come on, Theodore. On my cruise!
They're for my 3 boys. I want to get them something special since they're stuck at home. Hey, that looks like my boy.
I've ran this as long as I possibly could.
Thank you.
I found myself chewing off the corner of my desk here with my teeth. So before I destroy my office here, I thought I'd take these off. Yes, the Bahamians love Alvin and the Chipettes. Is that what they were called?
Yeah, Chipettes for the girls. Yeah.
The Chipettes for the girls. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. We watched. Well, you watched Alvin and the Chipmunks. I honestly don't think I've really watched episode of Alvin and the Chipmunks, but I am well aware of the Christmas song that Alvin and that grinds it on me too.
Christmas Don't Be Late.
Yeah, Christmas don't be late. So Christmas time again.
I really like the Alvin and the Chipmunks. I really
oh
enjoyed
boy,
it.
I can't wait for Christmas. Anyway, so yeah, it was not very good, Jennifer says. This was Alvin and the Chipmunks, and you guys, I'm sure you loved this. The next one, let me see, did I get some? Yes, I did. I do some clips here of Alvin and the Chipmunks. So, oh, damn it. Spoiler alert.
There was a show.
I wanted to show how cute they were in that. What are you saying, Jerome?
I was saying there's a show on NPR called I think it's called like I Made This or You Made This, and it talked about the history of the Chipmunks and how they had disappeared after the 80s, and somebody bought the rights of them for a song, and then convinced Hollywood to make the live action movies and made a boatload of money off of them.
Well, it's funny that you mentioned that because I also found a clip that I don't have that I'm not going to show of Alvin and the Chipmunks being a guest of the Ed Sullivan Show, and they were literally they were puppets, not really puppets. And the guy, their owner, whoever it was Alvin, who screams out his name all the time, was trying to get them to sing, and I think it was a Christmas song that they were singing. This sounds familiar. Why does that sound familiar?
Yes, they sang The Witch Doctor. That was their,
was
their big song. Yeah, that was. I think
I didn't know that one.
Yeah, they sang The Witch.
Ting ting.
Yes. Good job, Lorraine. Good job,
I
darling.
didn't know that one. Oh man.
Yeah, I'd rather hear that than the Christmas song. Yeah, I thought that was cool. All right, I found some interesting clips here that I'm about to tell you. I already did a spoiler on it, but I'm just going to go ahead and ask a question. If you guys were to think of Charlie's Angels, let's say 70 million years ago, who would you think of? It's kind of late anyway. But
I kind of did the spoiler.
Yeah, I kind of did the spoiler, so I tell you what, let's just hear him scream.
Captain Caveman!
Okay.
He was like the Bosley of Charlie.
Yeah, he was like the Bosley. I'm not sure why the Bahamians. I mean, you guys know I love Captain Caveman anyway.
I always thought it interesting that his furry body was sort of like a bag of holding. He could pull out like huge things out there.
Yeah, well, I was worried how he went to the bathroom. I mean, it's things like that go through my head. It says, how does this caveman go to the bathroom with all that freaking hair? You think he at least shave some portions of his body.
Don't ask questions you really don't want answers to.
Probably don't, and I'm sure that someone has probably written up, or rather did a drawing with my concern on that. Alvin and Chipmunk sang My Sharona?
I don't think so.
Yeah.
Really?
They did?
They did a cover of it.
Oh, they did a cover of it. Okay.
Yeah.
They had a ton of albums. They had a ton in the 80s.
Yeah.
Jennifer has made a good point. I don't know why no one has ever thought of it.
Wait a minute. I don't think it's a father. I think it's more like an ancestor. Because remember, he's a caveman.
Ancestor of Cousin Ed. Okay, so the series follows the mystery and solving adventures of the teenage angels whose names were Brenda, Dee Dee, and Kathy. Okay, and their friend Captain Caveman, or Cavey, okay, for short, a prehistoric caveman and superhero whom the girls discovered and thawed from a block of ice. The concept and general plot for the show was seen as a parody of Charlie's Angels, which also, by the way, was on ABC, which is the channel that carried Captain Casey. Man, I'm still laughing when I hear about this. There's what I wanted to show right there. All right, the show also borrowed heavily from other Hanna-Barbera shows such as Scooby-Doo and the Flintstones. Okay, Captain Caveman's powers include super strength, a variety of useful objects hidden inside his hair, and a club that allows him to fly and from which pop out different tools he uses to fight crime. So you basically had, the Mighty Might Four combined with Inspector Gadget.
But you notice that his gadgets are very Flintstone?
You're very Flintstone. I like that. All right, and we already heard his trademark battle cry, which I think deserves to be heard.
Captain Caveman!
Now, that voice, of course, was from Mel Blanc, okay, the genius voice actor who did Bugs Bunny, Porky Pig, you name it, Yosemite Sam. He also did Captain Caveman, which I thought was just absolutely phenomenal. But I'm gonna show you guys something. This is our next to last clip, by the way. Actually, I got one after this and another two more. This is a clip that I found. Let me get this image off of you guys' faces here. And I discovered it, and I totally forgot this happened. This existed. So take a look at this. It's 10 seconds worth. Here we go. You guys remember
I don't even want to know how he got a son.
I don't either. But there's always someone out there for everyone, Jerome. Okay, just look down the street every day. You always point. You go, now how did that happen? Captain Caveman and son, what are you doing, Rose?
Yeah, just checking something real quick.
Yeah, I got you, dear. All right. Remember, you're on camera. But anyway, so that was Captain Caveman. All right. Two more. This one is an interesting clip that I found that I thought is very good to show to everybody because there's a synopsis to this without mentioning the name. I'm going to read this without putting the name in. Blah blah, known by an alter ego blah blah, is a fictional blah blah in the blah blah franchise. Blah blah is introduced as the protagonist of the 1985 filmation series blah 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 blah, and again appears in the 2018 reboot blah blah and the blah 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 blah. A series of toys under blah blah name was produced by Mattel in 1984.
I got it already.
Oh, shut up!
I have no clue. I'm clueless.
Blah blah first published appearance was in the 1984 mini comic The Story of Blah Blah, which, like the subsequent Blah Blah and Blah Blah animated feature film, introduced Blah Blah as Blah Blah's twin sister.
Oh, okay. I got it now.
Yeah.
Okay, I got it now.
In their infancy. Our fantastic co-host here obviously think they know who the heck I'm talking about. So who is Blah Blah?
Rose?
He's He-Man, Masters of the Universe.
Yes.
He-Man, Masters of the Universe.
Okay.
Yep.
Oh,
watch the clip.
By the power of Grayskull.
For the honor of Grayskull.
Double trouble. Let's move, Cat.
Well, every time I said blah blah, I was actually replacing it with She-Ra. Okay, so you guys were still good. You get a half a point. Okay, even though the clip that I found was actually never saw before with those two. I'm sure they were in the series with He-Man maybe once, maybe twice. I don't know. Somebody tell me. Also another reminder, we'll probably get hit for a copyright infringement here from somebody just because of that music. I think the He-Man music is very, very popular, and we may have gotten hit before on that. But number one, He-Man, or rather She-Ra, was the twin sister of He-Man. Okay, and she was Princess Adora. Okay, and she was kidnapped by Hordak when she was a baby. Okay, believe it or not. So that was She-Ra, and the Bahamians watched She-Ra. I'm sure if they watched She-Ra, they watched He-Man too, right?
You would think so. Yeah, I mean, they're kind of like.
Yeah, they're kind of
bookends,
related,
you know?
connected. Yeah. Did
You
you
look
see
like-
the remake in the 2018, the one they did on Netflix?
Not of She-Ra, but the
She-Ra
movie
we
on
did.
Netflix of He-Man I did watch.
Yeah. There were a couple He-Man remakes on Netflix.
Yeah, the She-Ra series are updated when they kind of young her down a bit.
Yeah, a lot.
A lot. She's no longer an adult, if you ask me. She's still some teenager. So
Yeah.
I really didn't. They're still talking. Oh, wait a minute. What am I missing here? Skeletor is the greatest. Okay. All right. Everybody back away from Joe.
Yeah.
Slowly. Back away. You know,
Joe's been putting something in his coffee.
Yeah. And He-Man, I'm sorry, Jennifer
Herman,
He-Man.
that's just He-Man.
Yeah, I'm just cracking up because he's so adamant about this. It's like, fight me. You know, he sits behind a desk in the middle of traffic, you know, with a sign on the front of it. Fight me. And he's like, no, Skeletor is the greatest cartoon villain of all time. Fight me. You know? You know? All right. So the Bahamians, obviously, and that was 10 guys, but the Bahamians obviously have good taste. Okay, in the cartoons, they know what they like. I'm really curious if they've seen everything, but I did call out names of some cartoons that they never heard of before. So it's interesting what was shipped over, what their network ZNS decided to pick up on, you know, or get a license to show it.
Is that Zebra Nancy Sam?
Yeah.
Okay.
I have no idea what it stands for, but yeah. It sounds fascist if you ask me. This is the ZNS network. You all will die. You know, something like that. All right. So that was my show. But there is one more thing that I think these folks should be held to high regard for. And I had no idea that they even knew what this was. So I decided, based on the entire series, that I just take a clip, which happens to be probably my number one favorite clip of all time. The Bahamians are fantastic, beautiful, wonderful, friendly people. And do you know why?
Because I watch Johnny Quest.
That para-power ray, Doctor, just how much can it do?
To tell the truth, Race, I'm not sure. All right, who's in there? What the?
That's it, my friend. Look around. We'll find the para-power gun yet. You like my secret agent?
It's Dr. Zinn.
Nothing can stop it.
Now we'll have to work fast.
Look, the robot taking off.
I'm not getting a reading yet. Does it fire? Now. More power.
Oh, I hope it works, Dad. You got it, Dad. Hooray.
It's an aphrodisiac. Okay. Go ahead, bro. I see you.
Okay. I googled ZNS.
Okay.
Zephyr, Nassau, Sunshine. Zephyr means calm breeze.
Oof. Wow. Nassau.
So that's the call letters for the Bahamas.
That's exactly what I experienced when I was on that island. You know, all of those descriptions there. But back to the incredible intelligence of the Bahamian people. Okay, the fact that Johnny Quest is on their list of things that they remembered. Just goes to show that there's taste and across the ocean. Okay, there's taste with those people as well as myself personally. But this is what. Yes, I know. We need a live action Johnny Quest movie, Jennifer, without a doubt. So look, this show was based on a list that Bahamian people gave me, and I wanted to just because I was just there last week. I wanted to focus on this. I mean, Saturday morning cartoons is worldwide, international. People know Saturday morning cartoons. But exactly what is it that? Which ones, do they actually know? Did they actually watch? And we got obviously those examples today. Look, I want to apologize for the sound issues here. I didn't have this last week. Well, I did during Saturday morning cartoons, but for some reason, Rose, I don't have it during my other shows. So I don't know.
Very strange.
Yeah, it's very strange. Very strange. Jerome, good to have you back.
Thank you.
You're all settled in and ready to
continue? Heck no. We're not even close.
Yeah.
This is. I don't even have any furniture. I don't have a TV. This is all internet. Took us a week to get the internet. So this is done on my brand new bed. So.
Yeah. Okay. So you don't have a TV yet? Is that what you're saying, or you don't have a TV hookup?
Don't have a TV. Period.
Oh. Okay. Yeah.
So we're gonna get one this week. I mean, we just got. Let's see here. What do we get? Oh, Archer. Oh, okay.
What's the eighth word?
It's the next town over.
Okay.
I'm finding that out too. By the way, new area, you got to drive around and find all the cool stuff. A lot of things I didn't know existed down here. Certain gas stations and all that. But anyway, don't have a TV, don't have a couch. We're just getting the kitchen put together. So we've been doing a lot of takeout recently. So
yeah, I totally get that. I totally get that.
It's an adventure.
Yeah. All right. So look, since we did have Classic Sullivan and SmackDown last night, we're gonna have it this upcoming Friday, and I think Rose, are you on for Saturday morning cartoons next week?
I'm doing Saturday morning cartoons next week. Yes.
That a girl. Okay. Anything that we should know about, or you want to keep it under wraps for now?
It's gonna have to do with speed, and that's all I'm gonna say.
It's gonna have to do with speed. Oh wow. Okay. All right. That sounds.
So we're gonna see Underdog taking his amphetamine pill, right?
Yeah, his drug. Yeah. The drug addict.
There's another one for you there. I just want to make two couple of notes before we take off. One, I want to thank my friend Christopher Balzano for sharing the show today.
Oh, awesome.
He's a teacher down here and a fellow author. He's a lot more successful than me, but he goes around debunking and visiting haunted sites. So,
ooh, cool.
Yeah, so thanks to him for sharing the show.
How appropriate to be having his voice right now, huh?
And secondly, I just want to make a note about Roses and Reactions. Rachel started working 2 months ago. Okay.
Yes.
And they just put her on this huge project. So her time, her free time, which she used to do all these banners and help prep all these shows, is very limited. So right now we're kind of on hiatus, figuring out, getting back into the groove of, she's, it's the work life for her for the first time. So.
Well, there's no problem with banners. If I have to create banners for you guys, that's not going to be a problem. I'll do that for you. To take one less stress, issue off her shoulder, so that's not going to be a problem. There is a Star Trek Strange New Worlds show, a review show that we do on Sunday at 4 p.m. that we're going to hit on, and we do it after, of course, the current episode, which is this week's episode, which was fantabulous. So we're gonna talk about that tomorrow. If you guys are around, we appreciate you chiming back in to see if you like that or not. Regardless, we had some great episodes of this series, some really incredible ones. We had high scores from the team. Who joined me? These are writers who joined me, as well as a couple of twins. It can't be a couple of twins. It's got to be a single twin. No, is that right? I don't know.
pair of
two
twins?
guys who look alike. Okay, so Phil and Pat Duff, old-time buddies of mine, as well as two writers. One actually wrote for an episode of Next Generation. So they have been joining us on these jaunts for reviewing Strange New Worlds this year. It's been great. Of course, we're segueing here. I'm not a fan of is it Secret Invasion?
Yeah.
Yeah, I can
Yeah,
tell
Secret
you don't like
Invasion.
Secret Invasion.
I haven't had a chance to see it, so I don't know.
Okay.
My son was asking if it was any good, and I'm like, Mark doesn't like it.
And somebody told me it's this ending, because it's done now, segues into the next Marvel movie that's coming out. If you know what that is.
The Captain, the Marvels.
The Marvels.
Yeah, it wouldn't surprise me.
And I'm like, why do that? Why do you? Okay, whatever. Anyway, a little disappointing, but I want to mention something really sensitive on my brain right now. Much like hearing chipmunks sing, okay, Muppet Babies whine. I did something that I profusely said that I would not do. Sometimes I'm very serious when I say I'm not going to do something. I put my foot down. You ain't going to see me do it. I'm not going to do it. Ain't going to do it. Ain't going to happen. Well, I lied. Sometimes you wish you
I don't know what possessed you to go. I really don't.
I wish I could turn back time because, my super senses, went off and said, "Don't do this, Mark. Don't do this, Mark. Don't do this." And I went against my better judgment. My God, man. I don't know why people. I don't know what the phenomenon is about. I'm happy that I guess I should be happy the movie is making money. It ain't my money. All right, but
well, they did get your money. That's the thing.
Look, I squirm a bit sitting there, and I'm not on the side of the conservative right and what this movie is doing and making blah blah. In no way am I in agreement with them whatsoever. On their reasoning for disliking this movie. I just didn't like it. Oh my God. It was literally.
So what was it that you didn't like?
The fact that I thought I was sitting in front of an easy bake oven for 2 hours, And it was like, okay, I know something incredible is going to happen. Like maybe Darth Vader is going to show up with his forces and just freaking blow Barbie Land off of the freaking map. But yes, I just said it. I went to see Barbie. I apologize and no, we should not have been.
I think that would have made it a lot more fun.
Yeah, I know that would have made it worse, in my opinion.
I like Mike. I like what Mike said.
Which one?
That one.
Do you still see pink? Yes, I do. I see pink everywhere. I'm hearing pink as I speak.
Are you hearing that song in your head? It's a Barbie world.
Oh, an earworm. And yes, Mike, I have been deleting your entire verses of that damn song that you freaking put on my page. I happily deleted it every time you put it up. Okay? It's like, how dare you?
Mark, is it a musical?
Is it what?
A musical?
No.
Yes and no.
Okay.
Okay, and I'll tell you why. Strange New Worlds is coming up, I think it's next week's episode. You remember what Buffy did?
Yes.
You remember what I think Supernatural did the same thing, right? Did they do that in the episode?
I don't remember. I'd have to ask Cara.
Where they broke out in song. Okay. Strange New Worlds is doing that next week. Okay, so there were parts of Barbie that was. I'm not reading all that, Mike. No way. So I'm not reading that. In fact, I am so glad. I think I dumped it. Yeah, gone. Okay, so there were parts in the Barbie movie where you felt like you were looking at an episode where everybody decided they needed to have a musical episode in this? It was Glee. It was a Barbie Glee. You know, and oh my God. You try it, Debbie. Try it. I dare you. Try it. For sure. Anyway, so, but Oppenheimer is Oscar material.
Yeah.
But Barbie, luckily I didn't see that on the same day. Like I hear some people are doing. How can they do that? That's like 5-6 hours.
What would they call that? The Bobenheimer or something like?
Barbieheimer.
I'm a Barbie or something. Can I just interject one thing about? I want to do a shout out. During this week, I met a woman who was a waitress at one of the Disney restaurants down there in Orlando. And
did your wife know this?
Anyway, I was buying my wife the coffee, and I got her to join MBL Entertainment to watch us, and I wanted to say hello. I forgot your name, but I just wanted to say hi and thank you to watching the show.
This is not a great representation of what we do weekly because of the sound issues. We really haven't had this happen, so my apologies for that. But if you don't know, for those of you guys that are watching us for the first time, especially the folks in Bahamas that are watching us, each one of us takes a turn each week on doing what they want to do. We either focus on one single show for an entire episode of Saturday Morning Cartoons, or we do a compilation in relationship to whatever the title is, much like Rose is going to do next week, which she's going to focus on Steve. And I've already got a couple of things in my brain of what she could be showing just based on that. But we pick 10 shows typically. I did 11 today. Sometimes we do more than that. And I can't think of the other 8 that she could be thinking of when she mentioned. No, 7 now, because another one just popped in my brain.
I got a couple. I got a few in my head.
Yeah, what she could be doing next week. But I implore you guys, watch us next week. This should be freaking interesting. These two put on incredible set segments. Wow. Deborah, we're still live. Okay, we're still on, Deb. You know. So anyway, with mental illness running rampant in this country, I thought that next week is going to be a very, very interesting show with nothing in relation to Barbie. Thank you, Joe.
Thank you, Joe.
Thank you, Joe. Checks in the mail.
With Joe, I'm glad you love the show. We love it when you come on with hint.
He's probably still working on his Transformers rewatch.
Good God, man. I'll be 98 before he finishes his Transformers show. Get busy. What did he say here? Yes, I heard you earlier. Okay, with a big eye on it. Okay. But if you want to be a co-host on the show, if you ever have some cartoons you want to talk about, give us a holler, drop us a line. Oh, it wasn't Transformers. It was Thundercats.
Oh, Thundercats.
Okay, good. We'll wait for that. We're still waiting. But anyway, we've had some great co-hosts on this show. I love it when they're on. I love it when our team puts together shows. Saturday Morning Cartoons is what we do. We go back in the past, guys. There's so many cartoons that you remember that I actually forgot about and was reminded just from this show of certain cartoons that we grew up with. And it's always a surprise when our team comes up with something I've never heard of before. But, this is what we do. Saturday Morning Cartoons. 50s, 60s, 70s, 80s, 90s, and no more left. Once 2014 rolled around, no more Saturday Morning Cartoons, but you can watch us, and we'll try to entertain you each and every week. Rose, anything else you want to say or mention as we say our goodbyes?
I just hope everybody has a great weekend.
Okay, how about you, Jerome?
It's great to be back. The trip was fun. I'm moving in, and I look forward to doing more of the shows.
All righty. So we all now, are residents of the South. So there's some good to that. Okay, so I'm just telling you, we're all residents of the South. But nonetheless, this is what we do. So thank you guys so much. This has been us. We'll talk to you.